What's up, Digi Nerds? It's your boy David, and I got my boys Tyler and Chris here in the booth with me today.
What's up? Howdy.
And we got some Digimon content for you for sure. We'll kind of start it off like we always do. We'll start talking about locals. So, our locals didn't have a actual locals this time, but we did go to Pensacola. Chris and I went to Pensacola this weekend. Digi Sean, shout out to them. We came and hung out with them for a little bit, played in theirs, and we'll kind of talk about what happened. I guess since I did worse, I'll go first, Chris.
Yeah, sounds good.
So I uh, I played Royal Knight because I was trying to prepare for the regionals that happened this past weekend. And if you saw my gameplay on the regionals, I appreciate that. Sorry for wasting your time. But
I watched all 7 hours of that. Thank you very much.
yeah, sorry for wasting your time. I thought I was going to top 32. Unfortunately, we did not. But I'll go into more of that in a little bit. So I played Royal Knights of Pensacola. I kind of got there and like sorted it all out so I could take my picture because I was misinformed on when I had to get my list in, and I just came off of work, and so I was trying to hurry and get uh, my deck list uploaded. So I was trying to take a picture of it, and then they're like, round one start. As I just took the picture of it, so I was like putting everything together and trying to shuffle. And so round
Uh,
one, so round one, I played Ben. He was playing the Bunnies deck. I don't think I have a bad matchup into that. But if you looked at my gameplay and watched what happened with my deck, it would definitely seem like that because he 2-0'd me. Uh, yeah.
that the
Uh,
bunnies deck's tough to get around, really.
no, yeah, for sure. I think honestly with the Royal Knights matchup, it's kind of 50-50. But then you tack on the fact that I made a misplay and Ben is just really good. He's a really good player. And then just the fact that game two, it was either game two or game one, that I didn't see an Omnimon. And I'm just going to chalk that up to the fact that, my deck was just got done being all sorted out. So, uh, we lost that one 2-0, and then we played against, who did we play against next? We played against,
Didn't you play two bunnies in a row?
yes, I did play two bunnies in a row. I played the other guy playing bunnies, and he also got it 2-0, but I just misplayed. I'll be honest, just misplayed and didn't see Omnimon. Again, it's the exact same reason I lost the first time. Misplay leading into, the misplay was I had miscounted. I knew he had the new Galgamon, the new ace. What is that? Uh,
Mega Gargamon.
yeah, Mega Gargamon. I knew he had that in hand, and he had a level 5 on board that was unaffected. Just couldn't be deleted or bounced for the turn because
Yeah,
he hard dropped it. And I miscounted how many swings I had by one to win. Cause for some reason I was thinking, yeah, I was like, yeah, I have enough. I have 7 swings. He's got 5 security, and he's gonna uh, he's gonna stop 2 of them when he digivolves. I was like, yeah, I'll be fine. I don't know why I thought I was gonna. That's all I needed to win was the 5 swings.
that's some good math.
Yeah, that's a real good math. So I
You
omnied
you
that
you
turn.
lost you lost to math.
Yeah, I lost because I can't do simple math, and I was kind of grossed out. I was like, "Yep." And then the so then I had everything out, and I was like, "Okay, well, it's not going to be too bad." I was like, I said I could probably still win this, because then I played out something as a blocker, because I had Leopardmon. I think I played out. I think I used Leopardmon's effect to play out Magnamon to create another blocker, so I wouldn't
Hmm.
just instantly lose. And then he proceeded to Quartzmon me that next
Ah,
turn. And I was like, well, I've lost this.
dang.
Yeah. And then the other game, I just didn't see Omni. I was like, because he put me at enough memory, and I had like a 13 cost reduction. So I was like, I just needed one memory, and it was my turn. And I was like, if I just see Omni, I have games, but no, I couldn't
You
find
got to
Omni.
start carrying an extra Omni up your sleeve.
Yeah, apparently, like that's the way to go. Carrying an extra Altart Omni up my sleeve and just slam it down. Yeah, I'll throw it in my hand real quick. Like
Yeah,
just wave my hand a certain way, it comes into my hand, and then just yeah, I got it. It's Omnimon.
Part of the cards.
heart of the cards. It's always there.
Oh
Bro,
yeah,
can
for
you
sure.
believe I just top decked this Omnimon?
Bro, the way you start every game with Magnamon and then never see Omnimon,
I know. I was like, I have a great start, and then I can't finish.
you need to like tell those two to have a talk and trade. Like I'd rather see Omni every game than Magnamon.
That's the truth. That is the cold hard truth. Next, I believe I played. What was he? Oh, one of their big guys from their podcast.
Chris.
Chris. Yeah. He was playing Armor Rush, and he got it over me as well. That deck is just hard to when they can't die by just about any reason. You
Yeah,
have
and
to
then
kill him twice.
that
It
new
kind of
split
sucks.
guy just bounces your dudes back to you too, doesn't he?
Yep, he does that. My main win con against that deck is using Ult Force just over and over and over again. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but I never saw Ult Force. So it was just
Dang.
out of our games. I just never saw Ult Force. So he took that one. He's a good player too. Just the deck's a little fast, and then you happen to kill him twice. Kind of just hurts my deck, and I can't put up
Oh
enough
yeah,
blockers because they can either play their level threes and then just digivolve on top of them for so cheap, and then fire rocket's a thing, and then they're
yep.
Yeah,
bouncing my
Fire
guys
Rocket's
back to
strong.
my hand with that new one, which is kind of rough. So it's a hard matchup. I wouldn't say it's
I believe it.
unwinnable, but it's very tough for
I
sure.
believe it. Between the new Magnamon that bounces and if they're playing Zootamons too, it's hard for you to absorb anything.
Yeah, exactly. And so it just makes it tough. Plus they have that pseudo jamming and armors.
Yeah.
So, and then after that, we played Jessmon, and unfortunately we did that man dirty in the final round. That's where we got our win. And we unfortunately just did him so dirty. I didn't even see Omnimon one of those games, and I won. I kept clearing his board, and I didn't have Omni, but I had enough for a 13 cost reduction, and uh I had BT 13 gallon in my hand, and I had 3 Genkumons in my hand. And I just went off. I was like, I have a 13 cost reduction. Okay, I'm gonna play this BT 13 Gallant that gains rush and on play pops 6k DP or lower. So I'd pop his first guy, and then I would swing when attacking, pop something 6k or lower, pop his other guy, clear his board again, and then next turn he got absorbed. He played 2 guys again, 2 level 3s. I would play out Genku, pull out Gallant, and just proceed to do the exact same thing 3 turns in a row until I won. It was
That's
gross.
gross.
That was
Yeah.
gross.
You
I did him dirty. I felt a little bad. I did him dirty. I just didn't have Omnimon.
you treated him like that, and then he still hooked you up with the Sistermon judge stamps you needed.
Yes, he did. He hooked me up with the Sistermon judge stamps. I saw that he had them in his deck, and I was like, "Hey, do you have any of extra of those that you'd trade or sell?" He said, "I'll sell you the ones out of my deck."
Man, you beat him so bad he wanted to trash his deck.
I don't know, but I was so thankful because I was like, I need these for my deck. Thank you. And I was like,
But hey, now you know you can win without Omni, so that's not an excuse anymore.
it is if I'm not seeing the right cards, because that's not a fast way to win. That took 4 turns.
You need to
That took
run
4 turns, and I had to get a 13 play cost reduction, and
FTK, bro.
had to see 3 of the same card for that combo to work.
how many of the Rush Gallantmon do you run?
2.
Two. He
I
needs
run
to be a 4 of.
Yep.
Yeah, I run 2 of him, and I run 3 Genkus. So I saw
Four
all
and
of my
four.
Genkus. Yeah, that's the new
At
win
least
con now.
at least three. I think just because he's the only guy that can rush. If you're not seeing Omni, at least you can play him and attack.
Well,
Plus he's red.
my other guys gain rush whenever I play purge,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
the delay effect gives them. I don't get their on play effect, but they gain rush for the turn. So I mean, if I'm seeing purge, I can always have rush. but
Yeah.
it's not likely that I'm going to see all of my purges in a game.
Yeah, but if you use Genku on the Gallantmon, it's basically another purge.
Exactly. That's the truth. No, for real. It really is. Except I get my on play.
Yeah, but better.
Yeah, that's
it's
us.
it's yeah, it's better. And that's
Yeah,
another reason why I'm running 3 of the Genkus.
yeah, the
But
Genku is really good.
yep, we kind of just trashed it up. We went X3. It was kind of gross. 1 and 3. So we definitely did not place well doing that.
You're
But
you're still my hero.
we'll let Chris now go talk about his Pensacola experience.
My Pensacola experience, I ran Mirage, coming off of the Texas Regional that I built it for the other weekend, and just
He
wanted
just
to keep playing it.
he just wanted to bully some people.
Yeah, I just wanted to bully some people with it.
That's exactly
the
what he
the
proceeds to do.
the first match I played, their Chris. So one, just like at the Texas Regional, it was a Chris v Chris round one.
Heck yeah.
That's
Um,
hilarious.
just shout out to everybody who has my common ass name. Um, so he was playing armors, and I really was like, all right, this is gonna be an easy match because I'll just keep bouncing his stuff. But the game one, I bricked super hard. I still pulled it out, but it was like I was worried for a minute. Like I was just sitting there playing all my search cards. But then once I found the pieces, because I had played all those search cards, I just had all the memory I needed to come up and do what I had to do. And then game two went pretty much how it should have went. He did really well though. Like it wasn't just like I won 2-0, but it wasn't like an unwinnable match for him. He definitely was putting up a fight. And then game two, I played. Who did I play game two? Oh, Mel, their guy named Mel. He was playing a Bagra Army Hunters combination. He was calling it Bagra, but it had like all the hunters, tamers, and superior mode in it. So I feel like it was more of a mix of the two. He got one game off on me because I never seen a level 5. But even so game one I won pretty quickly and easy, and then game two I never seen the level 5, and game three he made me fight for it because he kept his hand so tiny the whole time. Like every time he had like the pikey out that you can like put a guy under and draw a card at the start of the turn, and he just was like, I'm not using that at all. And any other kind of like triggers like that he had that were like you may draw or something, he was like, nope. So he had like 4 cards in hand the whole time, which made my stuff difficult. But at the same time, when it was his turn, he didn't have many options of what he could do. So I still want it. I just want it slower because I couldn't like just pop off. But he couldn't do much either. So it was a good stall, and it was a good fight. But for you to play, you have to have cards in hand just as much as I need you to have them. So I got that one 2-1. And then round 3, I played Digimon himself. He was playing the Ruin Mode Turbo. I got him game 1. And then he got me game 2. He actually did some of the turbo in that game. It's a pretty neat deck, but it's basically just Shine Greymon, so it's still bricks. And that's going to be its biggest issue. And then so I got it again game 3. So I got him 2-1, and they had me being recorded the whole night. So because I was their forgot what they called it, their featured deck of the night. Yeah, so they recorded all of my matches and then did a deck profile for me at the end. So my deck profile, I know they've already posted, but all of my matches with them will probably be posted as well on DigiSean's channel.
Well, that'll be nice. Getting the feature there. You also got your deck featured on our channel for sure.
Yep. Yeah, so there's two different versions. There's my Texas regional version on our channel, and then I changed it up a little bit to try some different things. So and that version's on the digimon channel. So anybody wants to check them out, I'd check out both because they are different, and you can decide what you like and between the two, kind of do your own thing. And then game 4 for the championship, I played against Ben and the Green Bunnies. We were the two undefeateds at the end, and I got it 2-1. So I did win the night, but he's a good play. He's a really good player, and the bunny deck was definitely annoying, even for me. Like I had to uh, go all the way up, before I could do anything, so that I could bounce uh, the level 5. Uh, but the one they have, if he played it at the perfect moment, it's unbounceable. Like it can't be deleted or bounced.
Oh wow, yeah.
So yeah, so that one was tough. So I pretty much like there was a couple of times in the match where I was like, okay, well I just have to play into it. There's nothing. I either play into it, it's unbounceable, and let him stun me, but then I can go burst mode and bounce the Mirage back to hand and gain 4 memory and then start doing something else. Or I don't come up and he just wins. So like it was an interesting match for sure. It wasn't as easy as I thought it would be.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all pretty much specifically because of that level 5 having that ability to not be able to be bounced.
Yeah, that's what really hurt me too, because right there when I was, like I said, when I miscalculated my swings, if I would have been able to bounce or delete it, I would have had game no problem. I would have had the 2 extra.
Yeah. Go ahead.
It's a really strong card. I've actually been thinking about putting it in my yellow bunnies, even though there's not a lick of yellow on the card.
Well,
Yeah,
as
because
long
it
as
can
you're
digivolve on Rapidmon.
Yeah, as long as you're the level 4s. I mean, once you digivolve into a yellow level 5, you're out of luck. But
yeah,
it's definitely still worth running at least 2 of, I would say.
1 to 2 just depends on the, your how many Rapidmons you're running.
Yeah, well, he's running all 8.
Okay, well, it might be good
but
2.
But the very last match was funny. I go into burst mode and I have 6 memory because going into Mirage and then going into burst mode, you just gain a ton. And then he has two security left, and so I swing through the Mirage burst mode thing where I bottom deck his hand until he's at 8, and then I look at my hand and I have no Thomases, none of the 3 cost ones. I have a 4 cost one, but then I'd be at 2, and I was like, well, that's only going to get me one more swing. And then I realized that I have 2 of the on play Galmons that on play we both draw one. So I play one, put me to 3. We both draw one. I say, well, now that you're at 9 cards, I'll swing bottom deck one of your cards to put you back to 8 and unsuspend. And then I play the other one, and I'm like, well, now that you're at 9 cards.
Yeah, that's kind of wild.
That was pretty gross. But that's how I won it. All really good matches the whole night. Like none of them were easy wins, but none of them were super difficult either, except for maybe the one against Ben was pretty tough. So definitely still liking the Mirage overall. And I'm definitely going to keep playing it for the rest of this format, possibly even into the 16 format, depending on how I like any of the new stuff that comes out.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a good deck for sure. It's one of those that, I mean, at the regional yesterday, the results are already out, and it Mirage did well there too.
Yeah, same that.
So
speaking of regionals, how was your run?
yeah, Inferno and I were both in their regionals. Unfortunately, didn't do too hot. I only played. I dropped out after the 6th round. I thought there was going to be 2 more rounds, but there was 1 more round. I could have stuck around and played it. But there wasn't really any reason to, though. I wasn't going to top 32. So Round one, uh, I'll tell you my record. I went 2, 3, and 1. Um, so it was kind of a rough day. Round one, we played Red Hybrid. Uh, he got it. Uh, he got it over me 2-1. Our all three of our games were really competitive. Uh, I might would have 2-0'd him had I played it slightly different. In our game one, because he took game one. It was back and forth. But I think I wholeheartedly agree. I'm under the mindset that if I don't swing that Omegamon check and hit that last tamer and just Omnimon early right there, I think I win it. There's nothing he could do to stop me
Yeah,
from winning it that next
I
turn.
like I say, I watched it. I think you're right.
So if I would have just done it like that, because I should have just played it smart, because I knew he had the tamer and the Ukamon in the back. I should have just played it smart, just omnied that turn, because then he wouldn't have been able to stop. He wouldn't have been able to win for sure. And he didn't have. It wasn't warp Takuya, it was just memory setter Takuya. So I should have won that one, and then I ended up winning game two. It was still very competitive. It wasn't an easy win. And then game three, I was also very close. Just I might could have played it maybe a little bit different, but overall I played it pretty well. He just outpaced me and got it. Round two, we played against Gallantmon. That was our tie for the day. Game one, I don't really know what I did. Like I haven't gone back and watched it, but I was like, dang, I feel like I just was misplaying left and right. And then we got it game two. Game one took so long, and so did, both of those games took too long. So we went into time and we had like like we were like, well, there's not enough time for us to start game three. We got the 5 minutes or three turns. We're like, let's not even attempt it. So we just went with the draw. It was the best case scenario for me that he wanted to go for the
Yeah,
draw
I mean, a
right
draw
there.
a draw is definitely better than a loss, and I don't think that y'all would have finished if y'all had started the third game as long as they were taken.
Yeah, our games were definitely taking a while. We were both just playing the who can he pop enough of my guys? Can I pop all of his guys? Like, can I just stun him? You know, so it was kind of the game that we were playing. And then round three, uh, we played against Leviamon, and
Yeah,
kind
that
of,
was the guy whose camera messed up, right?
yep, his camera kind of cut out. We were started off well, and then in the middle of his turn, his audio goes out, and so we call Judge immediately. Judge gets in there, tell him that the audio went out, and uh, we had maybe been playing for like 5 to somewhere between within the first 10 minutes. This happened of our match,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and so we were trying to get this all sorted out. Uh, Judge takes a picture, tries to get him to he's got an understanding where the board state is, allows him to disconnect, allows him to try and restart his computer and everything like that. It goes to the point where we got to get the head judge in there. This takes like 20 to 30 minutes before he's able to get video and sound back on. It's probably about that long. It was majority of the round.
No,
And
it was very long
yeah,
because I was sitting there fast forward in the video, and I was like, dang, like I really thought they were just going to give you the whole match
yeah, I
because
did
I
too.
didn't think he was coming back, to be honest.
I didn't think he was going to be able to get it back too. And I felt bad for the guy. But they gave him the round one loss, and then we played we had a 5 minute. They gave us a 5 minute extension from the head judge, and so he
Mm-hmm.
came back. I think we were at 18 minutes left, but with the 5 minutes, whatever. Game two was real quick. He ended it fast,
Yeah,
and then
I'm going to be honest. When I was watching it, I was like, that's the smoothest Leviathan I've ever seen. Like
yeah,
he would come up with like one memory and a training and go all the way to Leviathan.
yeah,
And
no, it
then
was it was crazy. For sure. Like I was like, "Oh my gosh, that's gross." And he wasn't playing any of the token generating cards. So I mean, 'Cause I asked him at the beginning if he was playing anything with tokens, and I said, present your tokens. He's like, no, I don't have any. I was like, oh, okay, so I'm not playing Leviamon. And then he was playing Leviamon. I was so taken back when he flipped over,
Yeah,
hatched
no.
that egg. I was
So
like, what? I was like,
yeah,
you are playing Leviamon.
I realized how he was doing it, and
Yeah,
honestly, like if I was to build a Leviathan, I don't really care for the deck, but if I was, I would go off of like how he was doing it because it was
yeah,
working so fast and smooth.
for
What
sure.
was
I
he doing
definitely
for
liked it. And
So
the
go
go ahead.
ahead, David.
No, I was just gonna say, but yeah, he got it game two, and then game three, he said he was like, yeah, I never saw level four, and I just took it. I steamrolled him game three.
Yeah,
He
so
just kept passing turn. I was like, dang, doing nothing and passing turn.
yeah, the way he was doing it so fast was he would come up and he would go into Gabumon on
Mm-hmm.
top of Goblimon. And
Yep.
so when he trashed a card with the draw one trash one, Goblimon gains a memory.
Yep.
So now he went into champion for one. And then he'd go into Gabumon X for free,
Mm-hmm.
gain a memory from that. And then he would took Proto Form and go into Cerberusmon X for two. Or is it, and he could have done some of this for zero, dependent. So, like, if he had Goblimon and popped a training to go into Garurumon, he gained a memory.
Yep.
And then he goes to Garu X, gains a memory. And then he goes into Cerberusmon X for two with the Proto Form.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, still from one memory, he's at zero now. And then he would go into Leviamon. He would end turn, so it would pass turn, but now he's just sitting with a huge Leviathan that has protoform underneath it.
Yep.
Answer.
Yeah, it's like answer it or I'm wearing you out next turn. And
Yeah.
if you did answer it, protoform recovers and he grabs the one of Garu X and he does it again the next turn.
Yeah.
It was
It was gross
really
because
good.
yeah, because it's exactly what I do to it. I would answer the board. I would answer the game, the board state, and then he would just do it again the next turn. And I just like I don't have enough outs.
Yeah.
Like I just
And
wasn't
then and
drawing
that's
into him fast enough.
and that's what happened game three was you did answer a couple of them and then he was just out of level four.
Yep. I answered him. He had nothing, and he didn't even get a swing off. That's how well I answered him. I think I had the Alphamon plus I had the delete. So it was I just had the answers that game, and then he ran
Yeah,
out of stuff, and then I just steamrolled him after that.
yeah, but props to him. That was the best Leviathan build I've personally ever seen, like run that smooth.
Yeah.
And then props to you for beating it.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. But I mean, obviously we got the first one kind of sucks. Unfortunate. Because it was starting to look very competitive.
Yeah, no, it was
And
coming
then
because he was coming on strong,
yeah,
and then yeah, so it could have went the other way, but that's the way the cookie crumbles.
yeah. Unfortunate for him for his setup going out, but we were able to get it. Then the next one that I played against Numamon next, and it was actually, what's his face? He was he's a streamer, a YouTuber, big YouTuber. The Ride My Avatar. I played against him, playing
Hmm.
Numamon. It was the Ride My Avatar. So I played against him. I definitely, I choked. It was bad. Game one, I could have had game one. I made a huge mistake. Cost me the game. Because I'm be honest, I don't. I'm not sure I liked his build for Numamon. He ran way
Well,
too many tech cards.
him and the guy that won were both just copied the Texas regional winner build.
Yeah, he had four Omni's warts, and I was
Yeah.
like, I just don't agree with that. I was like, because it's just I don't know. I don't like that card in that deck. Like don't
So
get me wrong. I think it's a good card. I don't like it in that deck.
so the reason they like it is because they're running that purple bottom,
Yeah.
and the baby says to trash a card that's level 5 or higher and draw two. So
Hmm.
if it's not in your stack and it ends up in your hand where you would never use it, you can just get it out of the way to draw two. Um,
Well, that's fair.
And then if it does come off the stack, now you got a big old body that has on deletion to lead a guy with you. So I think that it really does work. I don't know that I would run 4. 2 or 3 for sure though. I think it's a good tech. And then that Chimeramon too was something that people were not running really in the Numamon until that guy just won the Texas regional, and now every build has it. So
Yeah, the Chimeramon's a really powerful tech.
Yeah, no,
Uh,
that was definitely a good tech card for sure. I definitely
and
liked that.
in that purple bottom, or some people run the red bottom. It would work with that one too really well. You go into Chimera with your 2 champions. You've got black and yellow under you, and then you grab your purple or your red card from the trash, and now you have another color. So you're getting
Yeah,
like a bunch of colors under him. And the people that are running in the purple bottom are also running Gabu X. So you grab him, and then you've
yep,
got purple,
yep,
blue,
yep,
black, and yellow.
yep. And that's exactly what he did to me. I was like, wow, that's so genius.
Yeah,
That was the tech card. I mean, I knew he was running it because he saw it on the Texas build, but I was like, that's a really good card in that deck. I could see it being really good. And and then we got game 2, and then I messed up game 3 again. It was definitely a winnable match, and I just messed it up. I don't know what I was thinking. Uh, I guess I don't know. Uh, it was I could have had it for sure, and I just played it bad. That's all I can say is I just played it bad. I played it wrong. Not saying that he wasn't good with the deck or that the deck isn't good, but it was definitely. I had some moments where if I played it correctly, I definitely had the win. But I didn't. I don't know why I didn't. I don't know. I guess I was just blindsided and just didn't think about it at the time until after I made a play and I was like, oh, I should have done this.
yeah.
It was,
It's all it's always easier when you're looking back.
yeah. But yeah, he ended up getting it 1-2. And then next we played against a Mirage player. We did 2-0 Mirage. Chris. I didn't play Chris
I
because he wasn't in the regionals,
I
but
w- honestly, when I was watching that match, like not to be mean to the guy because I don't even know who he was, but like I don't know how nobody called a judge on him. I couldn't see his screen at all.
yeah, it was so
Like,
tough. Like I could hardly like not. He was using a phone. You could tell he was using a phone.
yeah, but
Uh,
like it. I
but
mean, it must have been a flip phone.
it was so far away, and it was kind of fuzzy. It was hard to see what cards he had on the board, and
It
you couldn't even read them for sure.
no, man, because I was seeing what you were seeing, and the color distortion too.
Yeah,
Like his human arm was purple the whole time.
yeah,
And I was like, what even is this? Like I'm saying, like I don't know how nobody like called a judge and just got him like, hey dude, get a new camera or you lose. Like I don't know how that wouldn't have been a call.
yeah.
yeah.
I don't know. It was bad. It was not good. Uh, but we did get it 2-0, and then the next game, the next round, the last round that I stayed for, was against Melga, and he just steamrolled me. I didn't have an answer. My answers I kept seeing in my hand instead of in my
Yeah.
security, which
Another
didn't help
works.
me. Yeah, I was like, dang, because game 1, I had it in my hand, the Trident Gaia, and I was like, well, this sucks. I drew into it, and then I was like, I know it's not in my security now. And then game 2, like when I first Dynasmon, I hit it out of the Dynasmon stack, and I was like, well, he's got game 2 as well, because he didn't brick. He just had it.
Yeah, I've been seeing more people play that all blue version like he was, and then the
Mhm.
guy that me and Dante both played in Texas.
Mhm.
Like, I don't know, like I just feel like using the purple Wergarumons and stuff is so much faster. I don't get why everybody's going to that blue. I mean, maybe I'm wrong and need to
Yeah, I don't
test
know.
it, but
I like the purple parts of it,
well, it's
obviously, but it's
like
so
because even watching them play, like they're not multi swinging it at ultimate. So
Yeah.
I mean, I guess for this meta, maybe because like if you go against Devas or bunnies or anything like that, you can't do that anyway, or they'll punish the hell out of you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think also one of my biggest mistakes is that for some reason I was thinking he went into the Melga, and I was thinking it
Yeah.
was Melga X for some reason.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And
I
you
don't
tried to
know
delete
why,
it.
and so I tried to delete it with the Omni, and he was like evade. And I was like, I was so upset.
Yeah.
I was like, it's got evade. I was like, it's that one. It's not the
No.
because it's not Melga X. I was like, for some reason I was thinking it was Melga X. I don't know why, like the new Melga X, and it
So
wasn't.
when you did it, I was like, no, like at my phone,
I
and
was
and
so
then he
mad.
says, okay, and reaches for the Melga, and I thought that he was about to just forget and pick it up and put it in the trash,
I
and I
thought
was
he
so
did it.
excited for like a second, and then he was like twisted it and was like evade.
I was so upset with myself. I was like, it's got evade. I was like, I was so mad because I might not have lost had I, remembered that it had evade, but I definitely, I might still would have lost, but I definitely wouldn't have made that play. I could have
Yeah, I
made a
mean there was
different play.
yeah, I mean it was a wasted on me.
It really was, and I was so mad at myself. I was like, you idiot. And then and then the next game, I essentially made the same mistake. For some reason, I don't know why. I thought Blitz Omni's effect was once per turn, not just however many you have underneath. It doesn't
Oh
matter.
yeah, yeah,
I was thinking it was once per turn, so I was like delete. So I played Rush Gallant, and I was like, all right, on play attempt to delete. He's like, yeah, sure, I'll use my level 6. I was like, yep, exactly what I thought. I was like, I'll swing at security, attempt to delete again, and I'll actually delete it this time. He was like, nope, it's not once per turn. I was like, are you sure? And he was like, yep. And I was like, I even had to look it up on my computer because I was like, no way. And I was like, yeah, it's once per
yeah.
turn.
No, it's
It's not
it's
once per
it's
turn. I was so
it's
mad that I
definitely
made essentially the same mistake twice.
yeah.
It was supposed
It's
to be
very,
once per turn.
it's disgusting that I made that mistake twice. I should have just asked both times. I don't know why I didn't.
Well, in your
But
defense, when they made the card, it probably was intended to be a once per turn effect because you typically wouldn't get two level sixes underneath a single level seven.
yeah, but
That
even
didn't start happening.
still, it's a mistake on my part. I should have just either remembered or asked to read the card, one of the two. Uh, Next time, you know, I won't make that same mistake for sure. But
Yeah.
uh, but I'll kind of answer your question, Tyler, because you put it in the chat. Uh, what do I think about Leviamons? The general space in the meta. Is it tier 2 now? It's definitely not tier 2. The deck it's a tier 1 deck. Tier 2. The tier list is kind of like, it's a mixture of representation plus how good the deck is in the format. So
Yeah, no,
that's kind
I
of
was really trying to get that out there for the viewers, for the chat, to get the chat stirred up because we've got a few guys in the chat this time.
I gotcha. But yeah, it's it for sure is still a good deck. I'll still just answer the question. It's still a good deck. It's gonna top. I actually have minus the this Saturday's regional, just because I haven't updated it since then. I actually have a breakdown of all the events and what's been doing good. If you just
Really?
Yeah, if you bear with me, I went in and did this the other day.
I'm bearing with you because I want to hear it. While we're bearing with David, though, however,
Yeah.
uh, anyone who's listening and wants to see our local boy Tanner play Avault, he is in Avault's live stream of the regional. I think it's game 4 or 5. Avault will play a Imperial Dramon player, and that is our guy Tanner.
Yep. And
Tanner's been playing the longest out of any of us, right?
Yep, he's
oh
been
yeah,
playing since BT1.
yep, he's been playing since the beginning. So
So if
anyway,
y'all want to see one of our local boys fight Avault, it is on Avault's regional stream.
yeah. Or if you want to watch me lose to Ride My Avatar, you can go watch it on his stream too, or our stream.
Yeah, yeah.
I definitely misplayed, and you can watch and laugh at me. But I do have these results up.
All right.
So this is out of 6 events, so not including yesterday's event, or I guess Saturday's
Okay.
event, not yesterday's. Saturday's event. Um, this is all just for regionals, not just some of the other decks, not some of the other lists that they have up there. Uh,
Hmm.
so Leviamon, it has a total of 13 tops in the top 16 out of 6
Okay.
events. Uh, Melga has 1. Uh,
One.
yeah, the
That's a big
Bunnies
difference.
deck. Yeah, the Bunnies deck has 2. Has 2 tops.
Okay.
Numamon has 16 tops and 1 win, 1 event win.
Nice.
The Lugamon deck has 9 tops.
Not bad.
Machine Dramon has 2 tops. It's kind of funny, it has more than Melga.
Yeah.
Uh, Davas has 8 tops with a win. Yellow Vaccine has 3 tops. Then this is actually kind of surprising. Not really, but this is kind of what I expected. And one of the reasons why I told you that I think you should run this deck, Chris. Mirage
Yeah.
has 7 tops, but it has 2 wins, 2 event
Nice.
wins, 2 event wins. Uh, then next, Red Hybrid, it has 13 tops and 1 event win. Then
Okay.
we have Shine Greymon with 5 tops. We have Bloomlord with 1 top. How much support can that deck get and still not top, not do well? It's the ongoing joke, ongoing gag. How much more support can Bloomlord get before it actually becomes a really good deck?
Ask Machine Dramon.
Same. Setcon has 4 tops. Belphemon has 1 top. The Armor Rush deck actually has 2 tops, which is actually very surprising, just because it doesn't have all of the cards yet, especially the new cards that come out at 16, that just really make the deck so much better. But it's still got 2 tops. I think people just weren't expecting it and don't know how to play against it because they forgot that it was good.
I think so. I think what happened, because it happened to me for sure. We got the new Magnamon from the Bunny deck, and
Hmm.
we were like, "Oh, I can edit my armor deck that I haven't touched in 2 years." And then
Hmm.
you pulled it out, and you realize, hang on, you know what else we've never had for armor? Blue trainings.
Yep.
Ooh.
So yeah, so like now you have blue trainings and a new Magnamon, and like so that's 2
Huge.
really powerful cards that we just never even
Yeah.
had, and it ramped it up a lot.
No, yeah, for sure. And it got 2 tops out of, 6 events, in the top 16. So not bad for sure.
Yep.
Then D Brigade got 1 top. The Mega Zoo deck, that's it's like the Dark Masters with Omnimon. Some people call it Omni Turbo, whatever you want to call it.
I've
Mega
been hearing
Zoo.
Omni Zoo.
Yeah, Omni Zoo, whatever you want to call it. It's had 1 top.
Okay.
Alphamon has had 1 top, which is very interesting. Gallantmon has had 1 top, and that 1 top actually won the event.
Yep. Yep.
Marcus Hybrid has had two tops, whatever you want to call it. Marcus Hybrid, Yellow Hybrid, kind of however you want to call it. It's had 2 tops.
Mm-hmm.
Lilithmon, surprisingly, has had 1 event top. And then War Greymon has had 1 top. And then Beelzemon has also had 1 top. So that's kind of that's all the decks that have topped in the events.
Okay.
That's in the 6 events that I looked over. That's not including this Saturday's event.
Yeah. That's good info.
I'm
Yeah,
glad we
so
got a Beelzebub on.
yeah, so I mean that's a lot of decks. It just shows, it's very diverse. I mean, there's a lot of, decks that are on there that, I wouldn't think would be on there. But they did top. And then,
Yep. And that.
you have your big contenders that everyone's talking about, Leviamon, Numamon, and Red Hybrid. You could even go, that are the biggest 3 most represented in that event. in this kind of
Yeah.
spectrum. You know, Leviathan with 13 tops, Red Hybrid with 13 tops, and Numamon with 16.
So it sounds like if you really want to top in this specific um, meta, the most consistently topping one is Numamon.
Yeah, correct.
Um,
But it doesn't have the most wins. Leviathan actually has 0 event wins yet, and Numamon has 1. Red Hybrid has 1, but the only deck that has two wins, event wins, is Mirage.
Well, now Numamon will have 2 because it just won Saturday.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying up until now.
Yeah.
But yeah, Numamon is apparently the deck to beat, which, you know, isn't surprising, but at the same time is, just because Numamon actually didn't start doing well in JP until BT16,
Yeah.
when it gets the new
So that
stuff, some of the newer
yeah, so
cards.
that means that it might be even better in 16, which is
Oh, it will
scary.
be.
it
Yeah,
will be.
it will be for sure.
'Cause you get the
Which is
you get
definitely
the
very
Valkyrie.
scary.
But I think that's why Mirage is doing so well too, because it has good matchups against that and Leviathan, which are 2 of the biggest things being seen.
Oh yeah, for sure. And in general, I think it's the best blue deck right now, hands down.
I could agree.
Because it beats Melga. Melga doesn't stand a chance again. It's just gonna send it back to their hand.
Well,
Gonna bounce up.
tell that to my man Chris from Texas who beat me with Melga.
I I think Mirage should beat Melga hands down, but I guess you found out otherwise.
I personally think that though with that one it's kind of a race because we both want to come up and do a bunch of swings at one time.
Mm-hmm.
The big difference is they're just doing it at level 5.
Yeah, so they're a little faster. And then once they like if they come out before me and do a bunch of checks but don't finish, I do have to answer it right then. And if they which you know isn't a problem because the evade doesn't isn't can't stop being bounced, but it's still
Annoying.
like dang. Yeah. But um so how did we don't have to go over Dante's whole play, but like how did he do? Did he do well?
No, he did not. He
Dang, doing dirty like that while he's not on.
I mean, he basically did as good as I did, not well.
Okay. So
He
like
dropped.
middle of the road.
Yeah, he dropped the he only played 5 rounds. I think he went
Okay.
uh two two and two, I think. No. Uh
2-2-1.
yeah, or it was 2-1-2, something like that. I think he had 2
Okay.
ties for sure.
He had 2
I
ties, and then he was just like, "I'm not going to top."
Yeah, 2
That's
ties and
understandable.
at least one loss, and I think I think it was 2-1-2. I think that's what it was.
Okay.
Where he when he dropped out, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm not going to top 32," so he stopped. He stopped playing around before me. I still had I was like, well, I could still top 32, so I played another round,
Yeah.
and
Might
I
as well
lost.
try.
I lost to Melga, just some stupid brain farts. Not saying that I would have won, but the way I lost is kind of just dumb. I'm
Yeah.
just mad that that's the reason I lost, just because I was like, wow, I'm dumb. But no,
For sure.
honestly, Royal Knights actually did not play bad. I don't think there was a game where I was like, just felt like I was outclassed or outmatched. I think, you know, I had a really good uh, game plan for each of these decks, and I saw my, you know, outs for just about all of them, besides the Melga player. So
Yeah.
I mean, technically I saw outs for it, but at the same time, not really. uh,
Yeah. That evade is good. Its only
it,
weakness is that it only works to deletion.
yeah, it saved him for sure. It definitely saved him. Not gonna lie. But yeah, you know, after that, you know, whatever it is. But Royal Knights, I don't think was a bad choice. Just had a couple misplays here or there, where I could have just played it better. Other than the Melga, you know, or especially the Melga. But I don't know if I would have won that one either way.
Yeah. But Tyler's got some new rulings he wants to talk about.
Oh yeah.
All right. So first up, the term area will be used to collectively refer to the location where the battle area and breeding area are. Now, this shouldn't affect most gameplay, um, but the big difference is that it's meant to simplify overflow and a few other minor card text. But overflow will be reworded to say, as this card leaves the area or under a card, in order to standardize how overflow works between the battle area and breeding area, or now just the area. Effects which trigger due to a rule check, for example, on deletion effect triggered by the deletion of a 0 DP Digimon, are now considered to trigger simultaneously with any effects triggered by the event just prior to the rule check.
So is that going to change how, when you would Crimson Blaze something, I'm sorry, Flame Hellscythe something and DP reduce it, like a Pillowmon, you still couldn't play your guy because the Pillowmon was still there? Because now the Pillowmon's simultaneously done?
I
David?
believe I believe so. Ask your question again. I was halfway paying attention.
Well, I appreciate it. So the way it's worded is that now, like, DP deletion will happen simultaneously. So what I'm saying is, prior to that, if you played a Flame Hellscythe to a Pillowmon, I believe is the one, and DP reduced it, the second part of Flame Hellscythe says you can play a guy out by effect, but Pillowmon is still on the field even though it has 0 DP because the whole Flame Hellscythe has to go off
Yeah.
and then it checks.
Yes.
So
correct.
now,
Correct.
yeah. So now I'm saying, if the Pillowmon is simultaneously dying, will I be able to play my guy out?
Yes. That's exactly the change that it's making right there.
Okay.
So it's now simultaneous with the effect. So I'm activating the effect. I'm minusing this by X amount of DP. It now checks for the DP deletion, and the Digimon will be instantly deleted. And now I can do the rest of my effect.
Making SecCom better one rule at a time.
Yeah, for sure.
So with that though, like, also that's gonna hurt hunters a lot, because now if they took a ace card, they will not get overflow.
Yeah, that I think that's how it originally was always supposed to be, the way it worked. But it was very confusing for people to understand that because of the way overflow was worded.
Well, see, the way overflow is worded is that when this Digimon would leave the battle area,
Yep.
and the way tucking something works.
Well, it says when it would leave the battle area or from under a card.
Yeah. So, but the way that the way that tucking a guy worked previously, before this rule, whenever they took them off of their Digimon, they went into a dead zone that didn't exist in the game, and then put them under.
Yep.
So they technically left the battle area, so they would get the overflow. It's the same as the reason that if you play Analog Youth in Beelzemon, you reveal 3 cards and then you trash 2, but you didn't trash them. Like, they're not counted as trashed
from the deck.
Yeah, they're not counted as trash from the deck, even though they only went from the deck to the trash. The revealed state of them was in a non-existing zone. Was the way that it's like explained, and which I always thought was dumb.
Now, some people might dispute him on this, but the reason that there was so much confusion was because after that interaction was discovered, there was very quickly a ruling placed for overflow, and it corrected that so that overflow didn't trigger off of being sent to that limbo area.
Yeah, because you could essentially activate overflow twice, especially against hunters, because hunters can pop tamers.
Okay, so they would like overflow you under your tamer and then pop the tamer and
Yeah.
overflow you again.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be pretty busted.
Yeah. So that's why they're like that's not how it's intended, and this is how it's supposed to be intended, and they're changing the wording so that it's less confusing.
Yeah, but it is a little sad though because Hunters already isn't like meta or placing well right now, and now that still definitely just makes it weaker.
Yeah, for sure.
So sorry for any Hunter lovers out there.
For real.
So the next one is effects that trigger when your opponent's Digimon attacks. Now trigger at the attack declaration, simultaneously with when attacking effects from the opponent rather than counter timing.
Yep.
So I'm going to read that
that's
again
nice.
and break it down a little bit slower for anybody listening. Effects which trigger when your opponent's Digimon attacks. So your effects that say when your opponent's Digimon attacks now trigger at the attack declaration, simultaneously with when attacking effects from the opponent, rather than at the counter timing. So previously it was at counter timing, so that whenever they would attack, all their effects would go off, and at that point you then had the choice to do your counter timing or to activate this effect. Now you can activate the effect and then also do counter timing.
That doesn't even make sense though. Like think about this. So like so now they're saying mine and your effects are happening simultaneously.
But the turn player does still maintain priority. So
Yes.
they're going to work exactly the same.
Basically exactly the same,
It
except you can blast Digivolve after you activate your effect now. You
Yes.
could not do that previously.
correct. So yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's to make it. It's kind of make because the when that effect would activate is during the counter timing, so then you wouldn't be able to use your counter timing effect because you would miss the timing if you're activating one of those effects. Or if you Digivolve, use the counter timing to use your ace, you'd miss that when attacking effect.
So you're saying now, like if I have a Digimon, a level 4 Digimon who says when your opponent attacks, suspend one of their Digimon. Previously, if I activated that, I couldn't blast Digivolve, but now I can activate that and then blast Digivolve.
Correct.
Okay.
That's exactly right. We did
Okay.
have someone mention in the chat, kind of going back to the other ruling. I'll kind of mention this activist. He said, I don't think you can play a Digimon when you flame Hellscythe Pillowmon still. Reason being, you still need to fully resolve flame before any DP checks of which would delete Pillowmon.
So are rules checks not interruptive?
No, they're not.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of what's the maybe he's right. Effects.
That's where I was a little confused because he may be right because it's like it's saying simultaneously, but like what does that mean? Like do I?
So it's not, that doesn't refer to the Pillowmon or the Pungmon at all.
Okay, no, it
Okay,
doesn't.
it's
I see.
triggered effect.
It's talking about the on deletion effects are triggered. When the on deletion effect is being triggered due to 0 DP deletion are now considered to be triggered simultaneously with any effects triggered by the event just prior to the rule check. So like I guess after, let's say it was a Digimon that has
On deletion Impmon.
yeah, on deletion Itmon, some sort of on deletion effect. If it was deleted by like let's say Flame Hellscythe, it would be deleted, and then that effect triggers simultaneously with the effect prior to it.
I feel like they're trying to make the game more confusing for no reason because you just said what I would have done anyway.
Hold on. No. Okay. So it's like this, all right? If one of my Digimon had an effect that said on deletion, gain a memory.
Yeah.
Okay. And you flame Hellscythed that Digimon. All right. It is now considered to be simultaneous with the Flame Hell Scythe, so that if they played out the Gazimon, you would gain the memory before they played out the Gazimon.
No, they would play out the
Yeah,
Gazimon first, and then you gain the memory.
Yeah, because they still have turn priority.
Yeah, they have to finish their effect, specifically with Flame Hell Slice. He has to finish that effect, the full effect, before you get your effects off. The Digimon would still be considered as deleted at the moment Flame Hell Slice gives it the minus DP. So it is no longer a Digimon on the board at that point in time, and your on deletion effect triggers at that exact moment.
I think these guys are just spewing shit. Like legit. Like the next rule says for now on when you attack, your when attacking effects take effect.
Yeah, I mean
Like
they're trying to try and make it simpler, but at the same time it seems a little more confusing at the same time because it's like this kind of the exact same thing that we've already had, but not exactly.
I think that what's confusing us is not the how or the what, but the why. Like, what specific interaction caused them to believe this rules change needed to be in effect?
it feels like I don't know
It
about the
feels like it all
deletion thing.
has to do about aces.
Yeah, like they're trying to make the aces better.
Yeah, even that
Which
on
like
deletion.
if they just make them all as busted as Mega Gargamon, then they would be better.
Yeah, I think
I
I
don't think
think
they need to do that
yeah,
a bunch.
yeah. I think that this on deletion effect is supposed to be technically the overflow timing. Uh, Try and fix that somehow, I guess. Uh, I'm not really sure what example they're specifically referring to that would need to have that triggered. Uh, because that's when the on deletion timing is the same timing as the overflow timing for when it would leave. So if it would be deleted by the 0 DP Digimon, it has to do with that overflow.
Yeah.
I'm assuming
But
that's why they're trying to change this
I
timing
feel
and the wording on
maybe they're
this.
trying to like make sure that like as soon as that ace dies, you go ahead and lose that 3 memory immediately or that 4 memory immediately because a lot of people will like delete a stack and then keep doing all of their stuff and then just forget that there was an ace in the stack.
Mm-hmm.
That could be a thing.
Yeah, I don't know exactly which ruling they're talking about, but that's more than likely what they're trying to get to right there. It's something to do with the ace on deletion overflow timing.
So we're at 59 minutes and we've got 3 rules left to go. So I'm just going to try and speed through these a little bit faster, okay?
Okay.
All right, so text which refers to in its text now references traits as well as the usual information it already referenced on the card. I didn't know it didn't do that before, but cool.
Yeah, that's interesting. Well, the before it was just referring to the text like the anywhere in the actual like the text area.
Yeah, bro. I thought when it said in its text, it meant from on the entire card.
Yeah.
And
Now it does.
because it does reference like the name as well. Like if it's got Pulsemon in its text, it also counts the name.
Yeah, because like if it was only counting the text as far as like in the effect area, then Pulsemon wouldn't have Pulsemon in his text.
Next up, the wording for okay, I'm going to read this one a little slower. The wording for each X, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus X thousand DP was confusing. They have updated this to be worded as one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus X thousand DP for each X. So, for example, for each tamer, for each yellow tamer you control, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 2,000 DP was confusing. They have updated this to be worded as one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus X thousand DP for each tamer.
Yeah, I don't
I'm
really
gonna,
see how it was confusing, but I mean,
yeah, I'm gonna need whoever the hell was confused by that to just go on ahead and switch to Pokemon.
So the idea here is that the first way it was phrased, it sounds like you can only target one Digimon.
Bro, some cards can only target one, and others can target multiple.
Right, right. But this is what they're trying to say here is that the way that they had it phrased before wasn't standardized. It would be phrased like this and maybe sometimes phrased a different way because of who translated it. What they're doing here is they're standardizing it so that from now on, when you see an effect that's supposed to target more than one Digimon, or that's supposed to be repeatable like that, it'll be worded this way.
Sweet. That fixes all 5,000 of the cards we already have out.
Yeah,
Maybe if
I
we
don't
get
know.
reprints like ADP.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but I know there's one more that also just kind of absurd.
So tokens only get removed when leaving the area.
I mean,
You
that's
may
kind of.
prepare tokens. Pardon?
Sorry, I was gonna. Got it. Sorry.
Tokens only get removed when leaving the area. You may prepare tokens even if your deck doesn't include token generating cards.
Which
So
honestly could be huge. Preparing tokens and not having a deck that generates them. You can psych out your opponent now.
So, okay. So here's the way I'm understanding that. Are they saying that now hunters could tuck tokens?
Like that's exactly what it sounds like they're saying.
Because before the tokens would just go off to the side. Like if you tried to tuck it, it would just disappear.
no. When I'm not exactly sure what it means by tokens only get removed when leaving the area.
That's what I'm saying.
So
Because
it's
now,
the new term area. So the
yeah. So
term
now, like
that's what they're
just
referring
like
to
the
in that.
aces, they never leave the area when they get tucked.
Yeah, but they can't. Tokens can't go underneath a card. That's just a token rule.
Oh, that's just a token rule.
Yeah, it's just a rule with tokens.
Okay. Well then. So if you tried to tuck a token, it would just fizzle.
Oh, yeah. I guess that would be the thing is that I thought it was a replacement effect where it was just removed from the area.
Yeah, it's a,
Oh, okay. That's what it's saying. Okay. So what it's saying is that it's announcing the replacement effect. Okay. It's saying they only get removed when leaving the area. There's no tucking underneath stuff. There's no sent to the trash. There's no put it back in the breeding. There's none of that. You just remove it from the game.
Yeah, that's how it already was.
Yeah,
I think it feels to me like they're just trying to clarify like rules that we all already knew existed.
yeah. And that makes me feel a lot better because I was having a lot of anxiety about some of these before I was able to actually sit down and read them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really read it before right now. I kind of read like the first two, and I was like, oh, okay, well, that's whatever. The other ones I hadn't read yet.
Yeah, I had skimmed them and I'd taken in what they meant. Like, oh, this is changing some stuff. Like big deal, and like real big deal. And now that I've gotten the chance to digest them a little bit, it's like, oh, okay, well, it's just restating stuff, making it simpler.
Yeah. All right. Well, as Tyler said before, that's time for us. Any last words you guys want to say real quick?
No, not really. Just anyone who's hanging out in the chat, thanks for joining us, and I hope you guys enjoyed listening to us ramble. And make sure to like and subscribe and all that good stuff.
Tyler?
Yeah, so I'm actually kind of interested in learning where you guys are from. So just if you don't mind, comment like your state below. Let us all know where the DigiNerds are at.
Yeah, that'd be pretty interesting. That'd be awesome to know where you guys are from. Thank you again, like Chris said, for those of you who did interact in our chat and watch us live. Definitely appreciate you. Shout out to you guys. You guys are the real MVPs here. Love listen to you guys' thoughts and comments. Like interacting with you guys as much as possible. Definitely appreciate, especially when we make some sort of mistake, getting called out on it so we can kind of correct ourselves right there. I definitely appreciate that. I don't mind it at all because I know
I
I'm
agree.
not
I
perfect.
never once claimed that Tyler or David were smart.
That's true. All right. So this was a Digimon podcast. Digi nerds out.
Out.